All right, here we go. Carver and Lisi here with you. College football picks, week number 1, of course, as this is the real deal. I know we had week 0 last week. We had a couple of games to wet the palate, but now a full slate Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It is on for us here. Mike Carver here with you, of course, with the encyclopedia of college football. The one, the only. Go for the 2, Joe Lisi. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Carver. Got a lot of mo, baby. A lot of mo. Week 1 on the horizon. I love it. I love it. The battle in Death Valley. We got all those games on Saturday. But when we did the week 0 picks, I already said the slate is juicy. Thursday, Friday, crypto plays, mortadella specials. I have them locked and ready for the weekend. And I'm telling you, I have a 5 diamond, okay? Brinks truck special. I'm going to put it out over the weekend. I'm telling you, it doesn't get better than this. I feel so confident that this team is going to beat their opposition into the ground like a drum. They're going to bam, 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 bam special. I can't wait. Can't wait. And what did I tell you about that gutless head coach, Frank Reich? He sucks. He sucks, Frank Reich. Cost me the over.
Man, they came with no offensive game plan. They had the one long drive where they had that 17-play drive at the end of the third quarter into the fourth quarter where they scored the 1 touchdown. And that was basically, Joe, they just let the kid run. What was that, 4? They let the kid run the whole entire drive, and he got him down the field. That kid stinks. That loser quarterback they got from Oregon State. Oh,
Ben Go. He completed 15 to 30 passes, a $109, and that's the guru, Frank Reich, coaching him. I told you, Frank Reich couldn't coach up Sam Ehlinger and all those gutless QBs in Indianapolis. He only got by because he had Phil Rivers for 1 year. Outside of that, gutless. Yeah, you said it, I said it, gutless Frank Reich. I hope they get smashed. Serves him and Andrew Luck right. Smash Stanford.
He was pretty gutless. I'm not going to lie about that. That was a very gutless effort by them. And really good job by Hawaii. Now, I know you already bellyached even before I was coming in. You said something about, I should have gotten a win with Hawaii. I let you have it. I picked the over. You give it that. That was a little.
I gave it to you. I mean, what was the record? I mean, we were combined. I mean, honestly, we were combined. I'm listening. I'm watching the chat. Hey, Eddie Salazar. He's talking about Carver's background.
I got Colorado up here, baby. Well, if you noticed, last week I put Hawaii up there.
Well, look at this.
So you can always you could drop some breadcrumbs now by what stadium I put behind me.
I like that.
Now today we're focusing, Joe, on Thursdays and Fridays games. This is a massive week of college football. This is the opening week. It's always huge. You get full slates on both Thursday and Friday. You get the usual Saturday pillar to post, enormous day, including Texas, Ohio State, Clemson, LSU, just a massive, massive day. Sunday, there's a couple games, and then Monday night, you get the Belichick debut with North Carolina.
But wait a second.
So tonight, Joe, let me just say something first. Tonight, we're going to focus on Thursday and Friday.
Yes.
We will do another show for week 1 later in the week, which will go through Saturday. And I know you've done a lot of Saturday already with Coach. You and Coach been breaking down Texas, Ohio State, Clemson, LSU, and all the other big games. Me and you will do picks and everything for those games later. We are going to focus on the Thursday and Friday games for this show, Joe.
No, and I'm glad because the Thursday and Friday games, I mean, obviously Friday night, I'm locked and loaded for the Auburn-Baylor game, Georgia Tech, Colorado. It doesn't get bigger than that. And, they're not top 25 matchups, but they're significant for these odds. They're significant for potential ACC and SEC and Big 12 odds. I mean, even though they're out of conference games, one of these teams steps up and let's just say wins convincingly. All of a sudden now they could be undefeated in non-conference, and then you start the Big 12, ACC, or SEC schedule, and anything could happen. So, You might even be looking at a potential dark horse like SMU was coming out of the gate last year. So this is what it's all about. I love these games. I love the fact that we have also Boise State and USF. That's a 5:30 kick on Thursday. I mean, we know about Boise State and Maddox Maxson. USF, though, playing in Tampa, Carver, it's hot. It's like 88 degrees there.
Yeah, but and I know it's a different set of kids and it's all that. They went to Orlando a couple years ago, remember, on that opening Thursday night. Remember there was that big delay, Joe, with the thunderstorms, and they were there all night.
That's when they had the kid from Northwestern. Remember the running back? Now I lost his name. He blew through his total. The kid blew through his total he had a big night, and then he got hurt in the second half, but they pushed him to the limit. Right. That game went right down to the wire. What do you mean? That was an overtime game almost.
I'm saying that's a lot of kids maybe still on that team played down there in the hot opener in Florida. Not going to be as much of a problem for them, you would think. And the early forecast there, Joe, of course, 89. And looks at it's 5 o'clock on a Thursday in early September, late August in Florida. It's going to be hot. I mean, it's
going to be humid too. They're going across 2 time zones. What time do they come in?
Right. 17 games on Thursday, 11 games on Friday. So you're talking 28 games between Thursday and Friday. Me and Joe will do the usual picks. I think we said we're going to do 5 for Thursday and Friday.
5, yeah. We could break them up any way you want.
But we're going to do like kind of what we used to do on the show. We're going to rip through a bunch of these and just at least give some thoughts on a bunch of them too, and all these games. Before I get there, let's close the book here on Saturday real fast. You couldn't spot that guy another yard for a touchdown in the Iowa State-Kansas State game to get the over for you too. I got there with night. What a game by Rocco out there. Rocco played well in the second half. Man, the offense opened up, Joe. There was a snooze fest in the first half, a lot of bad weather, and then all of a sudden you started getting some offense in the second half of that game.
Yeah, and again, the biggest thing for me when I broke it down on the pregame and I leaned to Iowa State, I was on the over a little bit more, was that Iowa State's front seven was giving up 188 rushing yards per game. That was an offense at K-State that gave up well over 200 or rushed for over 200 last year. So could they have success? They couldn't. They were in long third down situations. And Avery Johnson, we make this guy out to be like the second. He's terrible. Forget Heisman Trophy. Forget anything about this kid. He's a good quarterback. He's not elite. He's not one of these, all-world quarterbacks. Just no way, shape, or form. He's a good quarterback, but they had problems last year, K-State did, on the road. And it showed again. You cannot be an elite team, Carver, in college football or NFL and lose tough games on the road, whether it be neutral field or not. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
You might be able to get to a certain point, but you're never winning a championship. You're never winning potentially, an SEC, Big Ten, no titles like that. If you're not battle tested and can win big matchups on the road, and K-State proved that. But credit Rocco Beck now. Now they're going to be front runners or at least jump some of the other teams because they're already 1-0 in conference.
We both were spot on with Kansas. Kansas took care of business, and let me. I'll throw you the flowers, Joe. I'll give you the bouquets. Nice job with Idaho State. With UNLV, very big number. You were right. UNLV very sloppy.
Yeah,
especially early in that game in Mullen's first game as the head coach. Nice job by you with the big number there with Idaho.
Now we talked about it. I think when Thursday last week.
I think it was Thursday. Oh, Eddie, Eddie says how gutless was UNLV. Gutless. They were beyond gutless.
Gutless. So,
it was just
so here's the thing. When I got off college football today with Donnie, that was a 30.5 point number. That number was almost 31 in some books, and again, the unknown. It's just when you have a new head coach and you lose a defensive-minded head coach in Barry Odom, we know Mullen could coach offense. That was never a concern, but the defense regressed. You give up 31 points to an FCS opponent. They almost lost that game. It was 31-31 with 5 minutes left.
Yep.
We'll see. And that's the thing when you look at all these games, it's like, I love college football. This weekend is like, you can't get any.
Well, this is right up your alley.
Now, let me just say this. I have to throw this out.
Sure.
1998. Now, I've been throwing out some nostalgia, and RJ and Rob, they DM me about remember I told you the 1997 game when I was on the road in Tennessee watching Peyton Manning square off against Anthony Wright and Deuce Staley. that was the same weekend that Notre Dame was pushed to the limit by Navy. They completed a Hail Mary, right? So Rob sent me the clip of Allen Rossum pushing the guy out at the 2-yard line. It was also the year that I told you Robert Edwards and Hines Ward 20 and a half covered against Florida. Now I'll go back. Syracuse squares off against Tennessee. 1998, the year after Peyton Manning graduates, T. Martin and Tennessee were laying 1.5 to Donovan McNabb and Syracuse. Game was in the Orange Dome. It was a back and forth battle. Jamal Lewis was running everywhere. I was actually in Manasquan. I was in a hotel with 4 dudes from Labor Day weekend. I was sleeping on a table all weekend because we had 4 guys in a 2-bed hotel. We split it from Brooklyn. We were hanging out. That game, I'll tell you, 1998, that was the opening game. They got the pass interference call, and Colquitt, I think, hit the field goal. They won 35-34, and that's when you had to look through the spreads. They didn't have intranet, right? They had the New York Post had Tennessee as a 1-point favorite. And remember, you had to go to like Hondo, and Daily News had like
Hondo.
They used to have America's Line.
Yeah.
America, right? So that night, Ron Dane plays BYU, and Wisconsin crushed. I was in the club. It was whiskey down. They smashed BYU that night. Just saying. Rockin' Ronnie. Smashed rockin' Ronnie Dane.
Chris brings up, I say this all the time, Chris. Chris in the chat just brings this up. How Joe remembers this stuff is completely ridiculous. This minutia of a game from 25, 35 years ago that you bring up.
But wait a second. Wait a second. 19. That was the game. That was the year that Phil Fulmer in Tennessee won a natty because of T. Martin. It all started with that game. Yeah. Everybody will remember the game against Arkansas with Clint Sterner fumbling with Al Wilson. That was that was the game on CBS. I remember it was they put it on late. Terry Donahue used to do the CBS call. I think with Nestler. Right. So
heavy Eddie, of course. We love Eddie. He's in Columbus. Yeah. He says already a heavy Longhorn presence in Columbus.
Chris says no way. Chris is from Austin. Who do we believe? Do we believe Columbus Eddie or do we believe Austin Chris? Which one?
I don't know. Chris could be saying no way to anything there. He could be saying no way to something else. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out. But I believe there probably is a pretty big Texas. Texas travels, Joe. You know that, especially in an opening game. They're going to have a decent amount of fans there this week. I'd say a decent amount.
Listen, I'll tell you this, Carver. I think this game, the fact that it's played in the afternoon, love it. I think every game, every big matchup should be a 12 or 3.
Noon.
Oh, high noon or 3:30. I actually like back in the day. Remember when the ESPN2 first came out and they had what's his face from BYU? Oh man, Todd Christensen doing the games. Remember? They used to have the 4:30 kicks at times. And that's where you used to get like the sun cascading over Charlottesville. They used to have these crazy games on. I love it.
All right. I want to get to these games, go through a bunch of these games for Thursday and Friday. Last thing. Have you played anything today with I don't like ripping people, but I can. This Futures Day on FanDuel. Have you been involved in this?
I haven't done it yet. I was going to do it before 12 o'clock.
Well, you've been missing. Every 3 hours, they give you a new boost. So like 9 a.m. to noon East this morning, it was only a boost for a Super Bowl winner. Then the next was a boost for win totals. And then there was a boost for make the playoffs. There was different boosts for different things. The last one that's there now from 9 to midnight is for those season-long player props. You could parlay those. And here's my biggest problem with their Dopey Futures Day, Joe. Is obviously number one,
college.
They give me a $10 max, which is just like
I got 50.
I'm sure you get 50, so of course you get to play. You could put your head in the sand. You can get involved a little bit here and actually make a good bet. $10 max. I'm basically forced to parlay a bunch of dopey things together to try to get any kind of juice out of it. So that's just where I'm at with it. They had one of them crash, one of the ones today. They couldn't even get the ticket right. and now you got it for 24 hours to get it done. I think that might have been the division one, but either way, you can't have Futures Day, Joe, and chop people with $10 maxes. Come on, chop.
Well, no, you can't. You got to. I mean, come on. Can you buck up and at least give everybody their due? Now,
chop.
Here we go. Not to go off the beaten path, but all these games are over tonight. 6-5 Mets, 8-7 Arizona.
Wow, Mets.
Oh man. All right. Okay.
Well, you know what? I didn't play. I hit a couple homers tonight in the baseball, Joe. I haven't hit one yet tonight. I'm hoping to get one in the late game. Listen, and even you'll like this. The focus has shifted to college football here this week.
Thankfully. You know what? Best thing I've heard.
The focus has shifted. I mean, the last few Tuesdays we did Dinger Tuesday here.
Yeah.
On the channel. Today we're doing
college football.
Part A. We got a Part A and a Part B this week.
Well, it's nice that you came around.
I'm ready now. It's football.
Starting to see it my way. Do you have the standings from last week? I know your graphics guy.
Let's see if the graphics guy got anything together for this week. Let me see. I'll dig through the pile here. They left me. Our graphics guy did leave a few things.
Oh, look at that!
How about that?
But you know what,
Carver? After week one.
But let's be honest. 70% for the show.
That's a good week.
I mean, what else can we do for these guys and girls? I mean,
look at that. Look at that. 4-1 and 3-2. And you were a hair away on a couple of overs. Obviously, the Iowa State game, you were a hair away from that over.
Yeah.
And really, it was so gutless with the Hawaii and Stanford.
Yeah. Well, no. Defense.
And I was actually hoping, Joe, for a tie there and some overtime.
I was too.
And getting a little extra because
I was too.
No, I did play. I believe the over live early. When it got a little slow, I did jump in with Hawaii and Stanford.
Yeah, I was out to dinner. I was watching.
As much as I want to keep. Now, remember, that's week 0. And I said last week, I usually get off to a slow start in week 0 because I hate the games. I'm out to a 4-1 start. I'll be pretty happy about that. All right. Give me some thoughts on a few of these games. Then we'll do picks. 5 picks for all the games. I told you there's 28 games combined between Thursday and Friday this week. So lots of action here. You already mentioned this Boise, South Florida game. I saw Mikey put in the chat, it'd be like 200% humidity.
Right.
Right. Mike's right about that. Give me about 200% humidity. Boise, though, is laying the 5.5 as a road favorite. Now, there's a few spots here, Joe. I'm going to bring them up. We have some road favorites here in some of these games. Very, very interesting here for a week number 1 right out of the gate. And a big total in a very hot environment, 62.5. That's a big total.
It is. And I don't know if I'm willing to jump on the total in Boise and USF. What I do like is that line's down from 6.5. That line was 6.5 for basically all off season. And now we're starting to see 5.5s creep in. I still like Byron Brown. I like Golish, the head coach of USF. They went toe-to-toe with some of the big boys. I know that Boise State is the better team, but I don't think they're elite. I like USF, and I know they didn't step up at times. Certainly against Navy last year, they quit. But you know what? I'm willing to take the points there. I don't love it. I don't know if I'm willing to make this a best bet, but I do like the points with them, even at 5.5. As long as we stay over 5, I think we're good there. I would even take a shot on the money line.
I'm probably going to get in trouble here, and I don't know if I'm going to make it one of the picks, but I love this under. I know it screams 62.5, and you think that they'll probably get. I'm going to go under, Joe. I think Boise wins this game.
Yeah.
I think 5.5 is tricky. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's a tricky number, but I'm going to go after this under 62.5 with Boise and South Florida to kick things off on a very hot night down there in Tampa on Thursday. Shiano chopping wood with 15.5 against Ohio to start their season. The Bobcats.
Yeah.
49.5 total.
Now, I just want to double check. You know who the quarterback is for Miami which you and I had talked about this. It's a lateral move, but Daquan Finn from Toledo.
Who?
Daquan Finn from Toledo, the kid from Toledo, the starting quarterback from Toledo. He lost his job last year. He's now the starter, I believe, at Miami of Ohio. Daquan Finn. Now,
this is Ohio, Joe, not Miami of Ohio.
Oh, Miami of Ohio. I thought you said, you know why? because I'm not looking at it because it's not on the game board. I can't bet it.
You can't play Rutgers in New Jersey. Now I can.
Can't play Rutgers at all.
I will. This is a Shiano chop the wood game. I'll lay the lumber, Joe, with Rutgers on the 15.5 this week.
You think you really think them? You really think they have a shot against Ohio?
Yeah.
What do you get out of it? What's the total in that game?
49.5.
That's high for a Rutgers game.
Maybe they think Ohio's going to score some points.
Nah, I think we go with the over there. I like the over with Miami, with Ohio. You keep getting.
Unfortunately, you can't play it, so that's just kind of it's unfortunate, but you can't.
Yeah.
Now look again, probably not a game that's going to be on my card when we get to the end here.
Okay.
Bowling Green laying 15.5 against Lafayette, 51.5. Yawn. Yawn. I mean, who cares? Lafayette. I'm sure someone's got an angle in that game. UL Monroe 23.5 against St. Francis, PA.
They should kill them. They should. They should smash them.
They should. I mean, I'm not up to speed with St. Francis of PA, but I can't imagine it's going to be very good for them.
But what's the line in Bowling Green, Carver? What's the line again? That's Eddie George's first game as coach.
15.5.
What's the total?
51.5.
Sort of like the over there.
Sort of like the over there.
I do.
I'm not playing. I have nothing to do with that game.
Okay.
I have no reason for it.
Okay.
Wyoming, a road favorite at Akron.
All right, so let me bring this up.
6.5 for the Cowboys, 48.5 total.
Let me bring this up. When I break down games in the offseason, it's one of my strategies early on, and it's just me. People could make fun of it or whatever, but I look for inexperienced secondaries going up against competent quarterbacks, okay? And I talked to Coach about this because there's a couple of top 25 games that this matters. So Wyoming's starting 3 freshmen in the secondary, according to some depth charts, right? Now, why is that important? Because with the limited practice time now, right, 20 hours per week, and you have a new system potentially that they have to understand, communication's critical. Now, if they were playing any other team outside of Akron, I would make this a 5-star triple crypto special. This line is down from 7.5. I lean to Akron, okay? I do lean to Akron with the points, but I think we blow through this total. I believe Akron can move the football, and again, as long as you have a slightly above average quarterback play, and you have a team that can mix formation just a little bit, and I think Akron could do that, they can score some points or at least move the football on Wyoming. So I'm taking the over, and I lean to Akron. This line was 7.5 last week, and I did a show on it, and I said I liked Akron plus the points.
Not many other places you're going to get a big angle on Wyoming and Akron than you did just there.
But the reason why when you have ready. People don't understand when you're a defensive back and you're a corner and you're a safety, seriously, and you have to communicate.
Yeah.
If the biggest thing is if you mix up formation that they haven't broken down in the offseason, you would believe that in game 1 or game 2, that's going to matter more than any other time in the year, right? Then hopefully they get it on there. But that's something that I look for. If it wasn't Akron, if it was any other team but Akron, this would be a 5-star play. But the fact that it's the Zips, and we know how bad they suck, right? And what they did to
personal too with you with the Zips. Well, so it's personal with Terry. I mean, it's been a while now. They've been through a couple coaches, but it's still personal with you and Akron. So I got to tell you, I definitely wouldn't be running the window to play Wyoming as a road favorite in Akron on Thursday night. That is not something that I'm willing to do. Not looking to do that whatsoever. Delaware State, yawn, 29.5, 54.5. How about Jacksonville State getting 20.5 at UCF?
Well, I mean, let's think about this, right? No more Rich Rodriguez.
Yeah.
He's at West Virginia. Scott Frost coming back home. He's going to look to bury them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, You would think.
You're right.
This is a big spot for Frost. You're right. Frost might come in looking for blood right out of the gate.
And
now, again, a hot night, just like we talked about with South Florida. That's going to be a steamy night in Orlando.
Now, I just want to see, they screwed up that quarterback position. They had everything for the taking last year. When KJ left, and how bad Gus Malzahn screwed up that, Carver. But UCF, let me just see something. You there?
I'm listening.
All right, hang on.
You look at you. Go ahead. Find what you need to find.
I just want to see. Yeah, so Ja'Cory Brown is still on there, but he's going with Taven Jackson, who's the kid that played at Indiana. Remember when O'Rourke went down?
Right.
Remember when O'Rourke went down last year and who'd they play? Nebraska? When O'Rourke went down and they were laying 6.5 and Taven Jackson came in.
Right.
So he for Ja'Cory Brown was a very elusive runner. I mean, he was mobile. He was like KJ Jefferson, only he was smaller, right? The fact that Scott Frost went to Taven Jackson is a little shocking. That must mean that he fits his system a little bit better,
Yeah. If it's UCF or nothing for me here, Joe.
I think they smashed them. I mean, again, playing at home, and maybe we take Taven Jackson's number too.
Well, if you can get that in your state, which you can, then by all means go ahead and do that.
All right,
I unfortunately don't have any of the player props, as we have talked about several hundred times in our history together.
Yeah, I don't like the way you said that.
I'll tell you, this game is going to be on my card later when we do it, this next game. This NC State East Carolina game.
Really?
Minus 14.5 for NC State, 60.5 the total, Joe.
So rematch of the bowl game. NC State leads the all-time series 19-14, 19-14, right? Bailey, good quarterback, not elite. Dave Doran, I think he's one of the longest tenured head coaches in the ACC, 13 years behind Dabo, I think. But they lose Concepcion. Remember their Swiss Army knife wide receiver. He's with Texas A&M now. I just don't. I don't buy into NC State. I would take the points. 11.5 it is still.
I got 14.5 here.
Really? That was 11.5 for all off season. Really?
14.5.
All right. That's crazy. I lost the total in the baseball by a half this Texas game. Under the hat.
Wow.
Man. 7-3.
Angels just hit a bunch of homers, I guess.
Yeah, 7-3 at over 10.5. No good.
Oklahoma State's laying 19.5 against UT Martin. 55.5. Who'd you say is playing quarterback for Oklahoma State?
I sent it to you. If you could pronounce his name, God bless you.
I'll find it here. You did send it to me.
Hunter. What's his name?
Ooh. House Hengy, a transfer from TCU.
House Hengy.
Zane Flores will also play. Let me tell you something.
Flores is terrible.
Joe, this could really be the end of the line for Gundy in Stillwater. This is going to be a bad scene for him this year. Last year was the start. It's hard to fire a guy off of one really bad year when he's had a pretty good 20-year run at the place. They are going to get smashed this year. I
agree with you.
They have no offense whatsoever. At least the last couple of years, they had your boy Gordon, Ollie. They don't got him anymore. This is going to be ugly for Oklahoma State this year. Now, you would think it shouldn't be against UT Martin at home on Thursday night.
Right.
But, geez.
You're going to take him? You're going to take him?
Man, and even when Oklahoma State's good, sometimes they're very spotty in these opening games. They're very spotty.
I agree with you about Oak State. The problem that I have is Gundy didn't win a Big 12 game last year.
Yeah.
His back is against the wall. We said he's under 5.5, which means see ya. Him and his mullet. But I don't think it happens this game. I'd be inclined to lay it with him.
Really? You're going to lay it, huh?
No, I'm not going to lay it. I'd be inclined to lay it. There's a big difference.
Okay. You'd be inclined to lay it.
Yes, inclined.
The next two, Joe, I'll go through quickly. Duke's laying 33.5 against Elon. Missouri's laying 36.5 against Central Arkansas. I don't know if you got any beats there. You know I love Manny Diaz at Duke in Durham, but
Mensa, Darian Mensa gets the start.
Okay, good. Houston 22.5 against Stephen F. Austin, the 55.5. I know you love Houston. It's one of your teams this year. Nebraska and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Thursday. Here we go again. The road team favored Nebraska minus 6.5 with a 52.5.
Something smells about this number. I'm telling you, something smells.
Really?
That line to me should be 8.5. That line is 6.5. They were 5-7 last year. Cincinnati at times was a covering machine. They pushed Joey McGuire and Tech to the limit. They played some tough games. I mean, I'm on the Nebraska win total.
Well, you need him to win the game, but let's talk about the spread.
Something smells about.
And I know we never put too much stock into things like this, but 89% of the money on Nebraska, 90% of the bets on Nebraska. Everybody's going to the window with Nebraska, Joe. Everybody.
I like Cincinnati. It might be a best bet on the show. I don't know. Maybe they win by a field goal. Something smells about that game.
Yeah.
It stinks.
Now I found your Miami of Ohio game. They're getting 17.5 at Wisconsin against Luke Fickell and the crew. About this total, Joe, 39.5 with a 17.5 point spread.
Yeah, I don't understand why Daquan Finn went from Toledo, which was more of a wide open offense, to this offense that used to be run by Gabbert, and now it's like more methodical ball control, and they're going up against Wisconsin. That I told you, they got to get to 6 wins, otherwise he's chopped. Right? They're going to get. I think Wisconsin smashes them in this game. I think Whiskey Down smashes Miami of Ohio and Daquan Finn. I don't even think it's close. I think they take them to the woodshed. That could be a best bet for me.
Wow, how about that? That game might be on my card too. It might be. Might be on my card. We'll see in a little bit. We're going to find out soon. Wake Forest. Now, those are Thursday night's games, Joe. I think that's the end for Thursday night. Okay. I'm double checking I'm dotting my I's and crossing my T's here and making sure I got the whole slate there. Well, unless you're interested, I actually can't play this here. That's why it wasn't on my FanDuel app. Stony Brook getting 18.5 out at San Diego State. That's the late night game. There's a late night game.
I would take
Thursday.
The points with Stony Brook. I would take it.
You would take it. Friday night, 11 games. Kennesaw State at Wake Forest. Wake Forest laying 18.5, 51.5. Didn't my guy go to Wake Forest, Joe? My guy from Washington State? Didn't he go there? Isn't he the coach?
Yeah. Jake Dickert. Yeah. He also brought with him the starting not the starting quarterback. Remember Robbie Ashford, the quarterback from Auburn? He backed up Lenore Sellers last year. He went to South Carolina. He went to Auburn first and backed up Peyton Thorne, and then he went to South Carolina, and now he's the starter. He's a mobile guy. You know, he's more mobile than John Mateer, I'll say that. I will say I did the stats on Wake Forest last year.
Okay.
1-5 at home. Now, I understand that was under Dave Clawson, but that was a team that could not win at home. New scheme, new offense, new quarterback, Robbie Ashford. He's a little inconsistent. They lost, I believe, those games at home. I believe I got the numbers here by like 12.6 points per game. They were not a good home team. 17.5, Carver. I'm willing to give me the points. I want the points with Kennesaw State. That might make the card too. From a numbers perspective, I just don't. That's an overinflated number.
Okay.
That number is based on Dickert at Washington State, in my opinion, and based nothing on the talent level of Wake Forest.
Seems light for a Kennesaw State coming to town, that's for sure. Western Michigan getting 20.5 in East Lansing against Jonathan Smith, of course, year number 2 for him in Michigan State with a 49.5 total.
I mean, Aiden Childs and we like Jonathan Smith. You know, first year there, right? Weeded out everything. You know, you had some good covers. You got blasted in a couple of games. Aiden Childs in that offense, they want to be more ball control and stay in manageable third downs. Could he be an elite passer? It's possible, but I mean, I want to take the points with Western Michigan. 20.5?
20.5.
Yeah, give me the points.
20.5 for you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The Duke's Mayo Classic. Friday night, 7 East. This is in Charlotte where the Panthers play, Bank of America Stadium. So technically, Joe, neutral site game for Charlotte and Appalachian State. The Duke's Mayo Classic. App State minus 6.5, 50.5 the total.
Go over. No Joey Aguilar, obviously, right? Difference.
Right.
So, Charlotte, that game typically, whenever they play these college games in Charlotte, it's like an under. But I'm going to go over. 50.5. Give me the total. Now, Tennessee and NC State played to the over last year, I believe. But that was besides the point.
Illinois dropping 45.5 against Western Illinois.
So, I mean, come on.
What?
They're going to crush them.
63.5 the total.
Nah, come on.
They might score 65 by themselves, Illinois. Big Brett going to come in there and lay the hammer.
Brett.
Big Brett.
Big bad Brett.
Friends and family game here, Eddie said. That's a friends and family game, all right. There ain't Illinois. They got all those Illinois fans are in a lather right now. They think they've got themselves a big year coming ahead for them. We shall see.
This is it. Everybody thinks that they're going to be the dark horse in the Big Ten.
Everybody thinks that they're as you like to say, right. Joe. Everyone thinks they're everyone's All-American, right?
Everybody's All-American. Look at this. The total in the Detroit game is going to come in.
Well, what do you expect in Sacramento?
I altered it. The only over I needed was the Angels, and of course they left me at the altar. All
right, a couple of I would say the two marquee games of both Thursday and Friday night, Joe. Here, I'll get to next. First, Georgia Tech into Colorado to see Dion and the Buffaloes, who, of course, they're going to start your boy Salter.
Like Caden Salter.
I know like him.
Guy covers numbers.
Now, you love this Brent Key at Georgia Tech.
No. What do you mean? No.
He's one of your guys.
What do you mean he's one of my guys? He's not one of my guys. What are you talking about?
He's one of your guys. You've been backing this guy. Now you sound like you did on Twitter when I brought up. You talked that DTR up to no end. That Dorian Thompson
playing in the preseason, and we had the total.
All you did was talk that guy up.
Yeah, I know. I said he's marked Mike Vick. It was because he was starting in the Hall of Fame game, and we needed the total. So I talked him up, and he came in. Well, I don't understand. What does that matter?
No, this is, and it's a bad week for Joe, guys, because Joe's a fan of the little guy, which I understand. He's a fan of the little guy. He wants the backup quarterback Joe loves so much. All of them. Trask, Tommy Cutlett, Dorian Thompson Robinson, chopped. Him. All these guys Joe has backed over the years, all fallen by the wayside. Why? Because they suck, Joe. None of these guys could start in a CFL. Any of these guys. All right, they're so bad. But Joe always wants to give him a chance. He just always wants to back these guys. Sorry, Joe.
That's all right. You done, Gruden?
Either way.
You're good. Bailey
Georgia
Zappi,
Tech, another road favorite here.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech coming all the way cross country to Colorado on Friday night, and they're going to lay 4.5 doing it with a total of 52.5.
So here's the thing. As good as Georgia Tech was, and they credit Brent Key, they got to a bowl game. They beat Florida State. They knocked off, or they went toe-to-toe and covered against Georgia. They lost to Vanderbilt and Pavia in the bowl game. They are 2-5 on the road last year, as good as they were. They struggled again on the road, just like Kansas State. They lost those games by an average margin of defeat of 9.6 points per game. I like Caden Salter, and I like Dion. That's still going to – do you really believe that that place ain't going to be electric Friday night, catching 3.5 points? I mean,
4.5.
4.5. Well, 4.5. But I mean, that place is going to be buzzing. And Caden Salter, we make it sound like he's not Shador. You're absolutely right. The kid's a 3,000-yard passer, and he's got 1,000 yards on the ground a couple of years ago. Kid's got wheels. And then sprinkle in some Julian Lewis. I mean, the unknown is the factor. Everybody thinks because Travis Hunter's not there that they got nothing in the tank. Give me Colorado. They're +9 in turnover margin. And as much as we talk about the offense, I'll give credit to Dion and the defense. 2 years ago, they allowed 173 rushing yards per game. They got it down to 151 last year. The back end and the secondary, 2 years ago in 23, they allowed 276 to opposing quarterbacks. They only allowed 200 last year. I'm telling you, I like the under in this game, but give me Caden Salter plus the points, and I'll take a shot. They might lose by a field goal, but that'll cover the 4.5. I think they win it outright.
Wow, how about that? This game's on my card, Joe, so I'll
it's on my card too. I gotta change it now. All right.
What do you mean you gotta change it? Why I get it was a checker on a check. You don't even know what I have in the game.
I know what you
got no idea. All right, well, what do I have in the game?
Colorado.
I don't.
Auburn.
Hugh Freeze and the crew, Jackson Arnold, into Baylor to see your old friend, Dave Aranda. Auburn minus, this is the best game of Thursday and Friday night. Auburn -2.5 on the road. Another road favorite, 57.5 the total.
Yeah, I know. I'm going with a lot of dogs here. I mean, I like Baylor. Listen, it's an identity problem. Hugh Freeze is dead man walking. You might as well prop him up like Weekend at Bernie's. I mean, a mop has more emotion than Hugh Freeze. He was better off when he was coaching Dino Babers in the hospital bed. He had a little bit more swag than he does now. This guy is like, give me a break. Dave Aranda? I mean, Dave Aranda's a good coach defensively as well. What has Hugh Freeze done? First of all, he doesn't have a quarterback that fits his scheme. Okay, didn't have one last year. Didn't have one in year one. Okay, now we believe Jackson Arnold is going to be the guy. Let me just tell you, is this the Jackson Arnold that got pulled in the second half by Brett Venables against Tennessee? Is this the Jackson Arnold that basically had 189 passing yards in the third quarter against Ole Miss and finished with 200? Is it going to be that Jackson Arnold? Or is it going to be the Jackson Arnold that's supposedly going to live up to the hype? And then Ashton Daniels is there. I'll just say this. This team, Sawyer Robertson, first of all, Waco is going to be a little hornet's nest. That place, Coach Bowden said it wasn't, he didn't think it was that much of a home field advantage. And everybody's going to look at the LSU game and see them get smacked around.
Coach said that?
Coach said that. He said he broadcast there for Westwood One with Nestler back in the day. And that was the Art Briles days. So he didn't think that it was overly, because, Coach Bowden relates to the SEC, big, thing. Sawyer Robertson and that team, Baylor, at the end of the regular season, they started 2-4. They won 6 games down the stretch before they lost to LSU. Won by an average margin of 14.8 points per game. Sawyer Robertson could be a dark horse for the Heisman. I said it, not you. They get Auburn. They get SMU out of the gate. They get K-State in the first 4 games. They could be 4-0 and on their way to a Big 12 championship like Arizona State. I think they smash Auburn. But I love the total, 57.5.
Smash. I think they smash them, huh? Smash them, Joe says. All right. UNLV off of a completely gutless performance at home where they won the game but obviously didn't cover an extremely large number. Now go on the road playing another team, Joe, that played on Saturday, Sam Houston State, who got smacked by Western Kentucky. UNLV minus 9.5. Now, I know this dropped a lot, right, Joe? This was in the 12s or 13s, and then it got tanked down after UNLV's performance on Saturday night. 61.5 the total.
I'm willing to go over the top under. This is going to be a complete contrarian based off of what happened with the first game, right? So the biggest change and scheme in the new head coach and the biggest progression, game 1 to game 2, you had a team that put up 38 points and gave up 31. Now you're gonna get more better defensive effort. They're gonna make sure they shore up some things. I like the under 61.5. UNLV might win, but give me the under.
Wow, how about that?
Yep.
Under.
I said it. Me, not you. Me.
And finally, late night Friday. Central Michigan, the Chippewas, making the trip out to San Jose to see the Spartans. San Jose State minus 11.5. 51.5 the total. Now, fun late night MAC Mountain West game.
Now I don't know. Let me just make sure. I just want to look at something here.
That is a D-Gen special right there. I mean, you talk about the late night bailout blowout, 10:30 East kick on FS1. That's what you get. Central Michigan, the Chippewas and the Spartans.
Yeah, it's interesting. So that kid Drinkle that took over for McElwain, Drinkle, the head coach of Central Michigan.
Yeah.
This is the coach, and I was very critical of Drinkle. He likes to balance work-life balance with the family.
Well, that's this guy, right?
That's this
the guy that came in saying, my guys are going to go home at 5 o'clock every day. My guys are going to do that. Yeah,
right. Okay. And he's going up against Kenny Niumatalolo. Kenny Niumatalolo.
He's a worker. Kenny's a worker. He's not slowing down.
Siano, old school, run through the concrete if you have to. Give me Kenny Niumatalolo. Oh, we're going to see it. Kenny Niumatalolo. I love Kenny.
Wow. How about that?
What do you think?
I like it.
I think they smashed him. I think it's going to be old school. You're going to see that guy Drinkle all of a sudden sleeping in his office. His wife's going to be, honey, you're supposed to be home at 5. You're supposed to be home at 5. Where are you? What up? Kid, I got to break down film. I got Tums and Pepto.
There you go. That's all your games on Thursday and Friday. A quick run through of that. Now, I know if you're just joining in now, and once again, great crowd here for a late night show. Joe, we used to do late nights, so maybe that's what it is. I mean, we're rocking here.
You think that, are we rocking? How many we got? We got 529.
529 on Twitter. So everybody's hanging out, which is fun. Before we get to the picks, remember, we're just doing Thursday and Friday night tonight. That's all we know. There's a ton of great games on Saturday. We've got the Irish in Miami on Sunday. We've got tons of great games. Me and Joe are going to do another week one. Week one is so big that we needed 2 episodes basically to do week one. Now I wanted to bring something else up, Joe. I saw this mentioned. Let me scroll back in the chat a little bit. I think Craig brought it up, which was, where is it here? Craig said something about a podcast.
Yeah.
And I actually was thinking about, Joe, doing that. And if it doesn't take me too much time,
yeah,
I might do that with these. I might put that out in a podcast form, audio only.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, whatever.
I like to give people as much opportunity to listen. And I also, obviously, at some point, me and Joe love doing this, but we would like if eventually someone paid me and Joe to do this. So we you might as well just get that out there on the table. So the more people watch and the more people tune in on wherever all those things are, I can then, or me and Joe can then go to people and say, look, people like us and you should pay us for that kind of experience.
Show me the numbers. I want to see the numbers.
I want to see the numbers.
Show me the organic evergreen numbers. I want to see the numbers.
If we could somehow get some numbers podcasts to the show too, well, why not?
Yeah, why not?
We can go ahead and do that as well. But we do like, you see, that's Chris brings it up here too, which is what we love. See, we like the late night because like you said, I think the dynamic, me and Joe being on during games and being on while it's going on, that is that's where it's at for us. That's where we have our most fun. Because as I've always said since we started doing this, even when it was at 10 East and then it moved to 8 East and whatever, I like in this show too, if me and you were just sitting in a sports book, watching all the games.
Yeah.
And betting and going, and that's what this show really is. That's what this show should be, and hopefully continues. Obviously, we're in a bit of a transition right now on several levels, but I'm thinking about, Joe, seeing if there was interest. I'll put a podcast of it out if people want to listen to it during the next day or something.
All right, let's do it. I'm all for it. Super Chats, the Ripper.
Super Chats.
Super
all right.
Chats.
In case that also for anybody who was just tuning in, before we make the picks, and we're doing 5 for Thursday and Friday. Later this week, we'll go through all Saturday games and do that for that. There's last week's numbers. Look at that, Joe.
7-3. Look at that. 70%, 70%, 70%. We smashed your book in the face with a tire iron.
Anytime we get a chance to, because let me just tell you something. It ain't going to be 70% all year, but I would love it if it is. But it doesn't go that way the whole year. So being off to a nice hot start, we'll be there. Let's go, Joe. And week number 1, pick Group A. 5 picks we're going to do. Only Thursday and Friday night games. We'll do Saturday and the rest of the weekend later on this week. Joe, now you seemed annoyed last week about the checker on a checker stuff. But last week was a little different because we went game by game because there was only 5 games. How do you want to do this? Do you want to go back and forth, or do you want to just lay them all out?
You tell me. You tell me.
World's our oyster here. You know what? We'll go back and forth. Give me your first one.
All right, I'm going to go to Madison, Wisconsin. I told you, I think Luke Fickell is on the hot seat. I think they're a more physical team. I don't believe in Dequan Finn and that Miami O type of scheme. And I think Luke Fickell has to win big, at least to get the momentum going. This team was terrible last year. 5 wins, 5-7 overall. Missed out on a bowl delay in 17.5. I think Wisconsin absolutely smacks Miami O. And I mean smacks them around in this game. Daquan Finn's been inconsistent. Give me Wisconsin in a rout. 24+ in this ballgame.
So Wisconsin minus 17.5 for Joe. Pick number 1 for him. Now, Joe, since I'll go pick number 1 as well, and I'm going to stay in the same game, Joe, believe it or not. I did have this game on my card as well. I'm not going after you. I think we can both eat here in a big way. I like the over 39.5. There's 2 ways that I see this game going, Joe. One is Wisconsin does exactly what you just said, and if that's the case, they win this game like 45-0. 45-3 or something in that aspect. And I think they can clear this 38.5 is light. 39.5, excuse me. 39.5. I think Wisconsin could get to 40 on their own for the reasons that you just said. Cover or no cover, I think they can get to 40. Or this game will be, Joe, a struggle for Wisconsin, and the game's 20-20 late in the fourth quarter, and I'm getting over 39.5 there as well.
Yeah.
So, Joe, I'm going over 39.5. Wisconsin and Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, not a bad look. I mean, I have no fault in that aspect in any capacity. So let me just say this. If it was my own, I'd be taking USF plus the 5.5. I will be playing it, but I'm not putting it out for a best bet because the CLV, the 6.5 down to 5.5. I think USF could be live, but I'm not going to put them out for the pick. What I will put out is I like Kennesaw State. I know it's crazy. Plus the 18.5 now on the books. I know it seems crazy. Dickert's a great coach, Robbie Ashford, but they were a terrible home team. And again, when you have a new coach trying to put things together with a new scheme and everything else going from Clawson to what they had at Washington State, I'm telling you, I think it's going to be too much. 18.5. I'm going to take Kennesaw State. Wake might win. But again, those numbers for me, where you have a bad home team, and I understand there's been attrition and transferred talent, but that line to me is solely based in years past why they're laying 17, 18 points. Give me Kennesaw State. I think they potentially can make it a fourth quarter game.
Kennesaw State plus 18.5 for Joe here in Winston-Salem. Pick number 2 for me, Joe. I am going to go to this East Carolina NC State game. Now, look, you know me. I'm not as big as you with history in college football because, and especially nowadays, with rosters changing so frequently with NIL and how many people go in and out the door. But this has got a bit of a rivalry. These two schools have history with each other. They've played a lot of games with each other. They played last year in a bowl game. East Carolina beat them. So they've seen the kid that's going to be playing quarterback for NC State. I like East Carolina's defense a lot. I understand the games on the road. East Carolina, Joe's beat them straight up. 3 of the last 5. I think it's 4 out of 7, Joe, I think. 4 of their last 7 meetings.
Yeah, they
East
play
Carolina's
well against
beat
them.
straight up. Now, the 2 of the 3 losses, they got absolutely smashed. But that was at the height when NC State was really good, Joe. This is not a good NC State team. I like this East Carolina defense, and now you're giving me just a shade over 2 tutties. I understand I should think a little, going from 11.5 to 14.5. But you know what, Joe? Crossing the 14 is good enough for me. East Carolina plus 14.5, pick number 2.
I like the pick. I mean, ECU, again, they got me that over in that bowl game last year with that running back breaking number 47. He looked like Robert Edwards. He busted a big run late in the fourth quarter. So I have no problem with that. I'll root it in that matchup. Here's another one. I'm going to go with Colorado. I like Colorado plus the points. Again, I believe in Caden Salter. I don't disagree that Brent Pry and Georgia Tech are a good team. They were not a good road team last year, 2-5. I mentioned they had their struggles. Now, one of those losses came against Georgia. I get that. But at the end of the day, they had some bad losses to like Vatek and some other mediocre competition. Dion catching points with a mobile quarterback. I think people are just going to think like, oh, because Shador, Travis Hunter's there, they got nothing in the tank. They have Caden Salter that almost led Liberty to a group of 5 college football playoff appearance. The kid could ball. Give me the 4.5. And Colorado was +9 in turnover margin last year. That defense has gotten better. It's not just the offense. I think they potentially win the game outright.
I could absolutely see Colorado winning this game. That's not going to be my pick, Joe. I'm going to be rooting in this Colorado pick for you, but I'm also going to be rooting for POINTS. Points. I like the over 52.5. I think that Colorado is going to be able to score with Salter as the quarterback. And honestly, Joe, I know you said improved maybe Colorado D. I think that Georgia Tech is going to be able to score as well. I think this is a game where both teams can get into the 30s, Joe.
Okay.
I think both teams can score over 52.5. Colorado and Georgia Tech, pick number 3 for me.
All right, so I'll give a total. I like Baylor a lot. Okay, I told you I think they're the better team. I will be betting them on Friday night, but I think they blow through this 57.5. Again, I think Baylor will push tempo. The fact that they're playing at home, we're talking about Sawyer Robertson and that offense that put up multiple points. They averaged well over 35 points over the last 6 games of the regular season. They smash teams at the end of the regular season. They have a top 3 wide receivers coming back. And again, they were balanced. Now, Pendergrast is out. Dawson Pendergrast, that kid's out. He's the kid that transferred from Wake Forest. He got hurt. So it's all Bryson Washington. But tempo. You have an offense that averaged 261 through the air, 178 on the ground. I think they win it outright, but I think we're in the high 60s, 70s. I think this game, Carver, 48-40. It wouldn't shock me if we go down to the wire in a shootout close to 100 points. So give me over Baylor, Auburn, 57.5.
Over 57.5 for you. Now, this is weird because, look, we never talk about what our picks are going to be. This is the 3rd game. We're on the same game, but we're not. One of us is on a side and one of us is on the total. I agree with everything you said before about Baylor and Auburn in terms of a side in this game. Now, you thought that Baylor's going to smash them.
Well, if they beat them by 10, that's smashed as a 2.5-point dog.
Joe, I'll take them winning by a field goal. I'll just take them winning. I'm taking Baylor plus the 2.5. Some of these home dogs in these more marquee games on Thursday and Friday, Colorado, Baylor, Cincinnati, wherever you want to go, I think a couple of them, Joe, are going to win outright. And I think Baylor is one of them. Maybe Colorado's the other one. Give me Baylor, Joe, plus the 2.5 for my fourth pick.
Yeah, I like it. I'm with you. So what do we have? One more left?
One more left, Joe.
Yeah, and this is strictly, again, this game smells. This line should be, in my opinion, 8.5, 9. They got they got the better team. They got the better defense. They have a better coach. But Cincinnati at times last year was gutty, and they don't quit. And they are a tough out, especially at home. This is not going to be an easy game for Nebraska. I do not see Nebraska just rolling them in this matchup. Again, 6.5, and we have steady action on both sides. I know 90% of the money seems to be on Nebraska, but the line ain't moving. We're at flat 6.5. We haven't seen any movement in the offseason. This smells to me, if we get 7s, to me it's a gift. Give me Cincinnati. Again, I think it's a fourth quarter game, and it wouldn't shock me if they win it outright. Give me the Bearcats.
Bearcats plus 6.5. Joe's fifth and final pick. Last pick for me. I always let you do the talking on a lot of these because, look, you are the encyclopedia of college football. I want to hear you break the game down. People want to hear you break the game down. I have been sniffing around this Central Michigan San Jose State game because, like I said, this is as we love the late night bailout blowout D-Gen special, and this is really our first one of the year, Friday night at 10:30. And there's some really good ones Saturday, Joe, that we'll get to later this week. But this is the Friday night one, and I want to have a piece of it. I'm taking San Jose State minus the 11.5 to absolutely smash this guy with the Chippewas right out of the gate. They can go have themselves a break out there in the coast at 5 o'clock, every day, getting them off. Kenny and the crew laying 11.5 in a row. This is a team, Joe, I think one of the better teams in the Mountain West this year. I'll take a shot here with just under 2 touchdowns laying with San Jose State.
Nehemiah Loho.
Good guy.
I love him.
So, Joe, Wisconsin minus 17.5. Kennesaw State plus 18.5. Colorado plus 4.5. Baylor Auburn over 57.5. Cincinnati plus the 6.5. I'm going Wisconsin, Miami of Ohio over 39.5. East Carolina plus 14.5. Colorado, Georgia Tech over 52.5. Baylor plus the 2.5, and San Jose State minus the 11.5 in the Friday night bailout blowout 10:30 East game on FS1, which I love, Joe.
I love it.
Love falling asleep on the couch in the third quarter. Hopefully you're up when that happens.
Kenny Nehemiah Loho.
And as I said, Joe, I know we didn't get to talk about it. We will do all Saturday's games later this week.
And let me just say this. Mike McDaniel is the...
here we go. Joe sliding the NFL in. Here we go.
Who said first coach fired all off season?
You have said he's going to be the first head coach fired.
And who came out and has the odds? Who's the front runner?
Is he the favorite? I didn't see those odds.
He is the favorite. He is the favorite. Chopped!
He's in trouble. I think he could be in trouble. He could be in trouble. I see Jamie said, hope you don't have YouTube TV, Carver. I do not, Jamie. I don't.
But I also have
I have every I have cable, and then every streaming service known to man. I have everything.
We have everything.
But I'll tell you one thing, it does suck. It does suck for a lot of people that have that, because a lot of people have gone to the YouTube, and I know Fox especially, big deal, Joe, with this Texas-Ohio State game on Saturday, that they haven't figured all that out yet.
But they're too worried about other things. It would be nice to make sure that you have the service so fans can see it, right?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I don't care. Let's just buckle it up and get it on. That's what it's all about, and we're here. This is it.
Now, Joe, I don't think we've exactly set up precisely when we're going to do Part B of the Week 1 college football
before
picks.
Saturday.
Well, no kidding, before Saturday.
The antennas.
Now, if we were doing this during the games on Thursday night, I feel like we'd be paying more attention to the games on Thursday night than actually capping the Saturday games. I don't know if that's. We'll see.
I mean, it could be good TV.
It could be. Well, during that Wisconsin, come on, the late night during the Wisconsin Miami of Ohio game Thursday night, do all that.
Oh, I mean, we could do. I mean, really, we're good when the games are on.
Here's what we'll say for Part B, which will have Saturdays and then the standalones on Sunday and Monday. Sometime on Thursday, most likely, maybe we'll do late night again, and we could throw the game on. The Cincinnati game's on what? FS, so it's Big Ten Network. The Wisconsin game.
I don't even know.
Oh, Wisconsin game's on, and the Cincinnati Nebraska game will be on.
Yep.
Both those games will be on Thursday night. So maybe Joe will do it then, and we'll get everybody going.
Kenny Niamaloho.
That's Friday night. I can't wait for that. Everybody goes to bed, turn the game on at 10:45 East. Fall asleep on the couch.
I can't wait. Back. Football is back, baby. Yes.
It's back, Joe. It really is. Awesome. Joe, great job. Joe, over 600, and I feel like we're leaving everybody. Like it's,
We've been on an hour already.
We've been on an hour, I know.
We need a sponsor. We need a sponsor.
Thanks everybody for hanging in. It's Part C Sunday and Monday games that he says. No, we will. There's only a couple Sunday and Monday games. We will do the whole rest of the weekend on Thursday. The full Saturday slate, and then, of course, my Irish in Miami on Sunday night. What's the other afternoon game? Virginia Tech, Joe, on Sunday? They're playing Sunday afternoon?
Sunday game, 3 o'clock, Valtech in South Carolina and Mercedes-Benz Dome, 7:30 kick, Miami and Notre Dame. Then Monday, we got TCU and Chapel Hill.
Man, I've had enough of the Belichick stuff already, man.
Get some 3.5 points. Throw me the ball, Gio.
Throw me the ball.
Gio Lopez. Gio from South Alabama. Gio.
It's Gio.
Gio.
Joe, great job, as always. Hopefully we stay hot. We had a nice 7-3 start between the two of us last weekend, week 0. So
we use a lot of products. All it takes is just one. We'll drink. We'll wear shirts, whatever it takes. Sponsors, you're out there. I'm telling you, it's a gold mine.
I know you love all the bells and whistles, Joe. I don't think I didn't get to throw that one on for you. There it is, the closer, the Carver and Lisi's college.
That's amazing. I might have to get a poster of that. You might have to send that to me.
You holding the encyclopedia is my favorite part there.
I love it.
Our graphics crew coming through with that now. It's just really amazing stuff. Awesome. Joe, great night. For tomorrow, I texted Cam for everybody. Now, I know that the PGA is over, but, we got the Omega European Masters this weekend. We'll see if Cam wants to do picks for that, along with them releasing the Ryder Cup pick. So there might be a Golf Wednesday. We'll see.
Hey,
maybe there'll be a Golf Wednesday, the Omega. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Good luck on Thursday and Friday night. We'll see you Thursday for the Saturday picks. Carver and